Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good news stuff for you today. And the first thing I want to talk about is that Tron's BitTorrent investment pays off as BTT pumps 870% since its ICO on Binance. Most people heard of BitTorrent, one of the most effective ways of transferring files around the internet. Functioning since the early 2000s, BitTorrent allows users to download heavy files faster by splitting the work. If you didn't know that, again, I got a little wrench and you can pop you on the head. So instead of taking forever to download a 900 megabyte file from a single source, BitTorrent uses multiple people to give you the file. But since BitTorrent has been working more or less successfully for almost 2 decades, over 100 million users, you may ask why the need for its own token. I kind of asked myself the same question. Well, it certainly has been something to do with the fact that BitTorrent was acquired by Tron's Justin Sun in June 2018. Said in one giant leap, we can introduce blockchain to hundreds of millions of users around the world and empower a new generation of content creators with the tools to distribute their content directly to others on the web. So Tron couldn't do it by themselves by making a decentralized internet or whatever that's supposed to mean. Instead, they had to buy BitTorrent. So this is basically like BitTorrent's token and not necessarily Tron's token or Justin Sun, but fair enough, whatever. So it also seems to have been spurred from Project Atlas, a blockchain project that provides incentives through cryptocurrency for file sharing. The current BitTorrent system, as Sun explains in the video below, which I'm never going to watch, doesn't provide users with any real incentive to share their files or keep them online once they've finished downloading a file. That kind of makes sense a little bit. This, he claims, creates inefficiencies in a system. So in other words, by having its own BTT token, users will now receive incentives in BTT for sharing the files and keeping them online. Downloading them will be quicker, and users can opt to pay for additional bandwidth if they need to download a file even faster. Oof, that sounds kind of bad there. Anyway, so BTT went on to Binance. It was set to 0.00012, and investors could purchase BTT with Binance tokens and then Tron, respectively. I think it went Tron and then Binance token, or maybe it was the flipped around, but either way, they were sold out in like 15 minutes and we will check that out here. So they were sold out very, very quickly, and turns out they're actually kind of making a reasonable profit, at least for now. And who knows if it's going to dump at all anytime soon. But as you can see, started off pretty low, went even lower, and now we're not doing too bad in terms of the BTT. So BTT is actually kind of a reasonable coin to be paid for sharing your files, but I'm not sure what the incentive is to necessarily be using the BTT itself as a currency. So it seems like people are going to be paid in this, but then people are just going to be selling them off, especially people with lots of bandwidth that share lots of files, especially those, those few on the various torrent sites that sort of run the whole site and always have like all the movies and games and whatever to download from those specific people. Those will make the most, and then they'll sell it off and it'll go down in price. But what's the incentive to buy it and then actually use it as a currency? That's sort of the one thing I'm missing from all that. Anyway, moving on. If you guys bought BitTorrent, congratulations. You made a good few bucks, but surprise, surprise. Mt. Gox trustee sold $500 million worth of Bitcoin on exchange. This is new court evidence. So Mt. Gox's sale of $500 million worth of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash grabbed everyone's attention as blockchain data showed they crashed the market last year. However, Mt. Gox's trustee, Kobayashi, denied price was affected, stating back in March that he did not sell it on exchanges. Following consultation with crypto experts, I sold BTC and BCC. I'm wondering if they mean Bitcoin Cash on there, because BCC is BitConnect, so I think that's a little wrong. Not by an ordinary sale through BTC, BCC exchange. I'm thinking he's talking about Bitcoin Cash anyway, but in a manner that would avoid affecting the market price. So now court documents show that the expert in question was BitPoint, which appears to be a Japanese crypto exchange, according to a team that has been following this matter closely since 2014. The new data from the trustees bank book, coupled with BTC's prices declines in May/June of 2018, indicate that the method BitPoint used to conduct the sale affected price discovery. In other words, BitPoint sold on an exchange and not over the counter. They've apparently managed to get their hands on the bank statement showing when the fiat funds from the crypto sale were sent to the trustee. They show frequent wires from BitPoint to the trustee, with the dates coinciding with the price, the fall of Bitcoin, essentially. May started off with Bitcoin continuing to rally, surpassing 9,900 on May 6th, but the price fell steeply and consistently from there. By June 5th, the price had fallen to 7,300 BTC, or US dollar, actually. Therefore, the price continued to fall to 6,200 as bearish market sentiment dominated the month afterwards. So Mt. Gox sold about $750 million worth of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash in 2018. They secured $500 million to pay off in full all exchange creditors at 2014 crypto prices. Then they sold another $250 million to potentially cover other creditors, including CoinLab, which now CoinLab looks like a frivolous claim of 16 billion, which I have no idea where that's even supposed to come from, holding up distribution of the remaining about 140,000 BTC and an equal amount of Bitcoin Cash in addition to the 500 million in fiat. So the Bitcoin Cash didn't actually exist back then when Mt. Gox had fallen. However, users are entitled to that Bitcoin Cash because it's a fork, so I'm assuming that's why they're throwing in this Bitcoin Cash as well. Interestingly, because all this Bitcoin existed when the Bitcoin Cash came about. Interestingly, there's no other Bitcoin forks that you would have gotten from that, so there actually should be probably other forks, so people are going to miss out on those forks as well. So again, Mt. Gox got hacked 2014, and nobody got their money, and now some people got their money back, but like basically at 2014 prices, there's still well over 100,000 Bitcoin ready to give out, but CoinLab is mucking up the process by trying to get 16 billion, which is absolutely outrageous. And so they did really sell them on an exchange and really destroyed the price, which everybody pretty much knew. But Kobayashi's like, oh, no, I definitely didn't do that. So moving on to some similar news. With Quadriga, reports claims that Quadriga never held more than 1,000 BTC. The report finds numerous assertions made on the affidavit submitted to Canadian court documents on January 31st by Jennifer Robertson, the wife of the exchange's allegedly deceased Jerry Cotton. The findings have been informed by analysis of Quadriga's BTC and Ethereum wallets. As the wallet addresses for Quadriga were not widely known, the report relies on deposit information given to customers that were aggregated from Reddit. The author notes that the findings are not guaranteed to represent a factual truth. However, comparisons between Quadriga and the withdrawal practices of known solvent exchanges show highly unorthodox practices. So based on zero consensus findings, the number of BTC held by Quadriga is substantially less than which was reported by Jennifer Robertson's affidavit. The analysis finds that there are no identifiable cold wallet reserves for Quadriga, estimating that the exchange is in possession of less than 1,000 BTC. The report also claims the evidence transfers totaling approximately 3.53 BTC that occurred on January 24th and 25th, apparently contradicting Robertson's claims that the exchange's funds are inaccessible. So according to the report's finding, Quadriga CX was clearly rerouting payments from customers to process withdrawals, comprising the operation of a shell or a Ponzi. Exactly what I said like 2 days ago, that the only way that they're going to be able to pay people out that decide to withdraw from this exchange is by taking other people's Bitcoin, essentially from the hot wallets, and then giving it to that person who decides to withdraw. So if you have funds on this exchange, I'd attempt to try and get them out as soon as possible. The problem is that you're going to probably be taking somebody else's funds to take your funds out, because there are no funds in cold storage, or at least according to the story, if you want to believe the actual story, they're locked up in a cold storage and cannot be retrieved because of encryption. So therefore, they're not going to be able to pay anybody out. And if you do get paid out, that's likely because they were just taken from everybody else's in a manner of a Ponzi scheme. So the author also asserts that withdrawal delays previously experienced by Quadriga customers resulted from the exchange not having the required funds at the available time, adding that in some instances the exchange was forced to wait for enough customer deposits to be made before processing the withdrawals, therefore taking your crypto to give out crypto to other people, which is literally a Ponzi scheme, not good at all. So this story just gets worse and worse. This is the government certificate. So government death certificate says Quadriga CEO died in India. Now, I don't know if you believe this or not, but this is the government of Rajasthan and Director of Economics and Statistics. And you can see Gerald William Cotton, Escorts Hospital, you know, and it basically shows his name, signature is valid, and we have a QR code on it. digitally signed by somebody. So who knows if this is real or not. They owe hundreds of millions of dollars essentially in crypto to everybody. And basically, if you haven't been following the story, you can go back and see my other couple videos that I made previous to this. I made two. The one previous to this is probably, or maybe it's 2 videos back. You'll see, read the titles, and you'll be able to get the full story. But basically, in a nutshell, this guy, Gerald Cotton, ran, which is totally spelled wrong. That is actually not his name there. It's E-N, not A-N. He basically ran Quadriga CX, a very large Canadian exchange, basically from a laptop, from wherever he was, whether it was in his basement, his home, wherever he traveled to. It was a laptop, literally. And all of the cold wallets, allegedly, are on this laptop that is encrypted. He has Crohn's disease, which unfortunately, you know, it's just not the kind of disease where you would want to go to India. So he went to India to build an orphanage and then died there. India is just not very known for the food quality, water quality. It's not a place where you'd go if you have Crohn's disease. It'd probably be like one of the last places you want to go if you have Crohn's disease. Let's just be honest about it. And he actually died, you can see, the 9th of December, and it's just now coming out that he died. Shortly before he died, he married, made a will for $100,000 to his dogs, and then just disappeared, essentially. He's just gone. And nobody can get the crypto. Now people are starting to realize maybe there wasn't any crypto in these cold wallets to begin with, or maybe the crypto was taken away from these cold wallets. Nobody knows the address to the cold wallets. There's a gigantic conspiracy theory brewing about this. Now, next article, lawyers might sell Quadriga CX to settle debts. Oh, wow, I'll buy that one for $1. A court-ordered lawyer will get the encrypted laptop of recently deceased CEO. According to CBC, the laptop might provide access to $190 million in Quadriga CX customer funds. Will be given to a monitor and independent third party who is appointed by the court to monitor the company's operations during bankruptcy. As the assets were stored in a cold wallet, allegedly, court believes that Quadriga CX, in a laptop of all things, could just fall off of your lap and break, and then your whole exchange is completely destroyed, and $100 million is lost. I just can't believe this story, that it would just be on a laptop. Literally. This is a one-man operation. Pretty much. That believes that Quadriga CX case is not a typical bankruptcy. The creditors might consider changing the jurisdiction to proceed with the case. They also add that Quadriga CX has asked for a 30-day stay of proceedings, which will end on March 7th, to search for the $190 million that is apparently inaccessible following Cotton's death. In the case the keys are not found, the lawyers representing Quadriga are considering selling the company in order to satisfy the debts. But what is this even worth? Again, what is Quadriga CX even worth without the $190 million in crypto? What about all the $190 million crypto for all the actual creditors? You're not going to be able to sell this exchange for $190 million to settle the debts to everybody, and you're just going to give them money and not crypto, because that crypto's gone. If that's the case, if it was on a laptop, which I really just don't believe that somebody with Crohn's disease would just leave, get married, then with days later, give his dogs $100,000 in his will, and all this ridiculous stuff, and then go to India and then die by building an orphanage while you have Crohn's disease in a place with terrible water quality. It just makes absolutely no sense. I just really can't believe this, and at the same time, I just want to say that I am sorry that if he did die, if this is true, because I'm not really trying to really rip on the dead, if you will, disrespect the dead, right? That's not what I'm trying to get at here. What I'm trying to get at is that this story is absolutely unbelievably stupid, that a man would run a $200 million exchange from a laptop in his home, all of it on a laptop, where it can just disappear. It's just blatantly ridiculous. But moving on to CoinMarketCap, got a $113 billion market cap, 3,457 Bitcoin. Not really going anywhere. Not really much else to say about CoinMarketCap today. Just trading sideways as usual, which is probably better than all the way down, right? But make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video. That helps me out a lot. My social media in the description below. My Twitch, my Twitter, my Steam. Make sure you guys follow me on there if you get a chance. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, I will see you guys next time.